How are you? Good. Good. Should I start, Jordan? You happy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with the injury list. Adam, Cree, Stewart, and Archie will be out for this match. The other one that's very questionable / doubtful is Coops. In warm-up yesterday, he sustained a little bit of a strange knee injury, so we'll see. It'll probably be a decision for tomorrow, but I would guess that it might be a little bit difficult for him. But Luis Sinisterra trained yesterday, and he has potential to be in the squad. So we'll evaluate that today and see what the possibilities are. But he looked fantastic, and we're excited to have him.
That's good news about Louis. You do have another signing, although not available tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talk to us a bit, if you can, now it's been confirmed about Georginio Rutter. What's he going to bring to you, and how much do you need him right now?
Well, I think, obviously everything that we're trying to do here, we're looking more what's important for the long-term project. Where we are in the moment, there's obviously a lot of thinking from the outside and pressure from different situations that every result means a lot. Obviously, that's always the case. I would say more that we identified Georginio. I've known him for a while, someone even I watched when I was at Leipzig. It's a guy who I think is an explosive footballer, a talented player with a lot of potential. And when we've done our homework, we've also learned that, and we found this out relatively quickly, what a good person he is, what a hard worker he is, how much he wants to try to achieve for himself. And then, when you've coached players from Germany that have been in Germany, there's a real high level of tactical education. And I sat down with Georginio yesterday, and we talked a lot about what we try to do in our playing model and what our philosophies are and what our strategies and vocabulary. And he already was very up to speed and understands most of it. So it was a really intelligent football conversation, and one that gives me real hope that he can acclimate quickly. So that, in the end, all of those factors were why he was the player that we fought after.
Yeah, because like with Willie Gnonto, he obviously accelerated a lot quicker than thought he would, and he was Premier League ready before thought he would. Do you feel with Georginio that he is Premier League ready, and that he could go straight into the side come Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, Willie, I'll be honest, a lot of the first meeting I had with Willie when we talked about the same things, he was very responsive in the same way. So the difference, I guess, would be that, Georginio's played, I think, 57, 60 Bundesliga matches at 20 years old. That's a pretty quick ascension for a young footballer. And even he said it was amazing how much he learned going to Hoffenheim, going to Germany. So, and I think that Willie had some of the same things in Zurich. So, yeah, I think it gives us hope that he can be ready soon.
And how do you see him fitting into the setup, Jesse? I mean, does he come wide? Does he play 9? Does he play 10?
I think he has flexibility. One of the interesting things is when we did even research on him, right foot versus left foot. When you look at most players, they're very right or left foot dominant, obviously. Like someone who's both footed winds up being somewhere between 20 and 25% on their weak foot. That's how much they touch and move with the ball on that foot. Georginio's 50-50. He's maybe the most two-footed player that I've ever seen. And he's obviously strong with his left, but his ability to drive in both directions, his ability in 1v1 situations, his ability to run in transition, his fitness levels, speed, quickness, intelligence. There's a lot of big upside and potential with him. So I think we can use him as a striker. I think we can use him as a wide player. I think we can use him as a second striker. So I think there's a lot of flexibility. And we talked about that yesterday, and he's very open to helping the team in whatever way is necessary. And I think
it's a lot of money. Clearly, it's an investment potentially that's made in a player. Does that mean that's it? January?
I won't talk about any more transfers.
All right.
Okay, but we're really
It's not a no,
we're really happy with both additions. Really happy.
I've heard you recently you wanted to create a high-performance environment, Jesse, which is something that you feel is your skill set's designed for. How close are you to doing that here?
Friday was the second most high-intensity running performance in the last 5 years of the Premier League. I think it was a match that showcased the way that I would like our team to play. And it was from a physical perspective, from a tactical perspective, from a mentality perspective, a really strong statement for what we want to be. And, frankly, if I'm critical of myself, I'm frustrated that I haven't been able to access that quicker. And that's been the source of even, there was discussion a week ago about some of my frustration that I was showing on the bench at different times. And that was, that was at the source of my frustration, is trying to figure out how to help the players execute more clearly what we wanted to. So I'm happy that we did that. I wish they would have been rewarded with the result, because I think it would have created ease in everything that we're doing. However, it gave me real belief, and more importantly, the players right now have real belief. So they now have a very clear example of the potential that they have. And what I said to them is, now's the chance for us to really start a process to become.
Finally, for me, how close are you to replacing Mark Jackson, your staff?
Couple days. That's what I've said both last times, right? We've been working on this diligently, and it hasn't been the easiest to get done, but I think I'm hopeful again soon. Yep.
Hi, Jesse. I think most people would agree you probably got out of jail down at Cardiff in the first game. For this one, they're going to have a different manager, having sat their manager. Their players are probably going to believe that they can come to Elland Road, especially given your league situation. Do you take that into consideration, particularly the change of manager, and how will you address that with your team and your preparation?
Well, I think, listen, I would argue different. I mean, the game was dominant, right? We dug ourselves a hole in that match, but by many standards, especially in the second half, we were absolutely dominant. They had 0.0 expected goals in the second half, and we were on top of the match. Now, we were lucky with the way we scored the last second goal. You're absolutely correct about that. I think we'll see a stronger side. They played a lot of reserve players, I think. I think we'll see a more of a team that they played against Wigan on the weekend. I think that the new manager will want the job, and will try to get his team to perform that way and go for the win. He has some history with certain people that I think also have a similar methodology to what we tried to do here. Valerian Ismail is a coach that I know well from Austria, and a very good coach. He was at West Brom, and he was at Besiktas. They were at Besiktas together. So, I expect him to play a little more intensively than they did at Cardiff, but still look to defend well and catch us on the counter. So we'll be prepared for that kind of.
Talking of preparation, the winners play Accrington or Boreham Wood. Would I be right in thinking possibly you don't know too much about those teams, given where they are, although played Accrington in the Papa John's Trophy?
Yeah.
They're playing tonight. Are you going over or sending people over to have a look at that? And how difficult is it to prepare for a game like that, assuming you get through? Bear in mind you don't know too much about them, and you've only got 10 days to prep for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we always watch a lot of opponents' last 10 matches, and then evaluate how we create match plans against them. So this will be the same. So we'll be ready for, right now our total focus is just to take care of business. And then when we cross that bridge, when we come to that bridge, we'll be ready to cross it. So.
And I know, obviously, it is one game at a time. The media, fans particularly, will like to look ahead, given the number of Premier League teams that have already gone out of the competition, and more are going to go out in the next round because they're playing against each other. The potential draw, I know the club have said to you, and you understand the importance of the Cup. Do you look and think that this could be our year? And also, can it help you in the Premier League?
I think I always take the Cup matches very seriously. I said the lineup we put on the pitch given the physical situation we were last week, would have been pretty much the same as what we would have played in a Premier League match. We had I thought actually the beginning of the match we were playing pretty well, and then we gave up 2 quick goals, and then we needed to adjust at halftime and push the match. In general, I think that where we are in this tournament, we can have hope to now handle our business on Wednesday night and go for it. We know it won't be easy, but we'll be at home. Club hasn't had a home FA Cup fixture in many years. We're going absolutely to win that match. We need to go match by match now in the league, in the cup, and try to really now take the momentum from the Aston Villa game and show that we're ready for big challenges now. So that's the entire focus, is to have this kind of conviction and belief and understanding and go after it moment by moment, game by game. This is where we are. So, and my belief sitting here right now is higher than it's ever been. And again, like I said, I think more importantly, the players are in the same position.
How did Patrick come through that appearance? Is it too early for a start for him against Cardiff?
Patrick has been feeling good. We've had to be measured with him, not to push him too much. I was very happy for him to get a goal. And I told you guys last week that he seems to be mentally in a really good place and physically in a really good place. Whether he starts tomorrow or not, we'll wait and see. We have to address a lot of guys physically today. Rodri, I think, came out of the match, which I thought Rodri was fantastic against Villa. Fantastic in every phase of the match. One of the best performances I've ever had from a striker, especially considering that he wasn't able to get the goal. But what a strong performance, and he's obviously in great form. So we'll be looking to turn him around and get him ready to go again for this match, and then we'll see how Patrick fits in.
Why do you think you were able to access that level of performance against Villa? What led to that?
I think it's been a process, right? And some of it is managing the ups and downs, pushing the right buttons, finding ways to come up with solutions, adjusting my behavior at times, positive, negative, trying to show belief, but also demand more. And then in the end, help the players have confidence and belief in exactly what we want them to be. Still so much work to do, but a real positive sign in Bill, for sure.
You mentioned there that was the second most intense performance in the last 5 years in the Premier League. Was that right? Can you explain that scale and how you've come to that conclusion?
High intensity running, I think it was over 13,000 meters for a match, which is, again, and by the way, only 48 minutes in active time, play time.
Really? So
to achieve that with a low ball and play time is phenomenal. And that's been, there's been a lot of talk about this ball and play time, even with the league and referees and how they manage certain situations. Villa gets the lead early, and then they do a lot of game management. But I think the last 3 performances in general are 3 of our highest in the history of the Premier League for Leeds United, based on per minute ball and play time. So, yeah, that's in that sense. I think again we're getting clearer and stronger and better tactic, and it also helps that tactically the players are understanding more and able to commit to it at a higher level. So, yeah, we're again. I know, as frustrating it is for the fans when we don't get the results, I know that their confidence wavers in what we're doing. But again, on the inside, our confidence is moving absolutely forward. And for me, I'm at the highest belief I've been since I've been here.
Does the size of the transfer fee for Georginio put pressure on you and him to make that work?
No. I think, listen, in general, I tell you, I don't know what any of the players' salaries are or their contract situation. I just try to treat them for what they are and who they are, and try to maximize the potential of what they can become. And the more that we do that, I think the more that we're able to just have an environment that's about people and about development and about each other. And I think that's the way that we'll treat Georginio. I don't think he has any extra pressure from us. Obviously, there's certain external things that he and we will have to manage for expectation, but he and by the performance yesterday, by his fitness level right now, by his intensity, by his excitement of being here, I think it's going to be a big opportunity for him to step in. Yep.
You have a lot of attacking options in the squad now. Where does this leave Joe Gelhardt, particularly with Rutter now signed?
I think there's been some internal discussions, and we'll make some decisions in the next coming weeks. In general, his attitude's been great. We've had good conversations. I think everybody's open to different possibilities. So, yeah, you're right. We do have a lot of really good attacking options. Even Luis, after training yesterday, when we talked and I talked to him about how he was feeling, he mentioned to me, wow, we have some really good players now. And Luis is certainly one of them. So he looked fantastic. He looked fit. Joffy's looked great. His attitude's been fantastic. And he'll be ready. Ready for it.
Do you think at the moment you know who will fit where? I'm just thinking that you've got a regular goal scorer in Rodrigo up front. You've got Nonto, who's in excellent form out wide, and plenty of other choice as well.
Yeah. This is the exact kind of problem that managers want to have, right? Is lots of options and some selection issues. But this is one of the reasons I was a proponent of 5 substitutions, because I wanted to build an arsenal of weapons and help them understand how to commit to the way we want to play and use them effectively match after match after match. So, again, I think when we watch training every day, when we see the quality that we're developing in the team, when we're putting together the squad, we all believe in our potential.
You've got plenty of attacking armoury in your ranks, Jesse. Do you think the crux of the second half of the season is going to be how well you defend?
No doubt. And we've continued to try to address that. I think Max Wuber coming more into the fold will be helpful. With Max on the pitch now over the last 2 matches, we've given up 0 goals and we've scored 3. So I think that is important. We're trying to continue to make some tactical adjustments to be able to help specifically defend in some wide areas and in the box in wide areas. So, but you're right. The more that we can defend now, I think we know we can score. Yeah. We know, and to be honest with you, scoring is the hardest thing to do in sport. So for us, it's been also trying to manage the opponent from scoring. Quality obviously has something to do with that, but the more leads we can get, the more clean sheets we can have, the better we'll get results.
Psychologically, you did it against Newcastle, and it's backing it up, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a mentality, but it's also a tactical performance that we require every match. So, there's one statistic where we're the 5th best team in the league when it's 0-0. We're the best team in the league when we're down. And we're the worst team in the league when we're up. So we need to get the lead more, and then we need to be able to sustain the lead or expand on the lead, right? So, and that will be the goal here.
Jesse, with when you spoke to Georginio, you said he's a good guy. What were your impressions? What's your impressions of him? What kind of guy is he when you're speaking to him? Obviously young, but also dealing with that pressure that Beren talked about.
Well, I had spoken to him before he had gotten here. When we were talking about the possibilities and trying to recruit him to explain to him what the project was. You can see he's a young, energetic person with a smile on his face that is naturally brave and excited about the potential to be a high-level footballer. He knows a lot of the players that I've coached in the past, like Christo Nkuku, Upamecano, Ibu Konote, high potential players. Ilan, he knows Ilan too from some of the youth teams. So he knew a little bit about me. I knew a little bit about him. And then, I really enjoy the chance to have some football conversations with them and start to map out what our expectations are for them tactically and get to know them in that way. And it was a real engaging, again, he's always been really engaging. And I think even with the team, he said he's had to learn more German in the last years than English, but I think his English is good enough, and it will come around even faster after a few weeks of being here. But I think in general we're excited about the potential of what can become.
When you talk about potential and you talk about the future, does that level of investment show the backing that you have from your board that they would do that for you?
Yeah. Like I said after the game, I accept the pressures of what's happening in my role at this club right now. I accept it and I understand it. The only thing I can say is that I'm doing everything I can and that we are doing everything we can together and we believe in this project. And I think that's clear with the transfers we make, with decisions we make, with everything that we've done. I think it's shown unity. Like I said, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with the fact that we haven't developed faster and better, and that's my responsibility. And I have to continue to find ways to push buttons to what we do in training, what we do in tactical sessions, what we do with video, what we do with everything, so that we can get better at a quicker rate. But I feel like this was a massive step in the right direction, and I'm more energized, and I'm stronger in my belief than I've ever been before that we're going to be a good team, and we're going to be a good team soon. Now we have to show it. Now we have to show it specifically tomorrow.
On the back of that, I was just about to say, obviously, you say your belief is higher than ever, and your team played better than ever last week. How important is it then just simply to get the result tomorrow night more than anything, and how much damage would it do if you didn't get the result tomorrow?
Yeah, we need another complete performance. We need conviction. We need a win, right? And I hate being result-based, but that's where we are.